Hi everyone, it's Miss Allen. Welcome to Adventures in Storytime. I am in the Story Tower at Billings Public Library and I am all ready for story time. How about you? Let's get started. Two little hands go clap, clap, clap. Two little feet go tap, tap, tap. Two little fists go thump, thump, thump. Two little feet go jump, jump, jump. One little child turns round and round, and one little child sits quietly down. Alrighty, so our stories today are about family. All of us have family. We all have different people in our family, maybe they live in different places, but we all have people we consider family. So the letter that we are using this week is the letter K. Can you see that? The letter K. And I colored it. Isn't it pretty? It's kind of a green. The crayon said it was called key lime, which is a fruit and also a yummy, yummy pie. So this is a K, like in kitchen or keep or kin. Have you ever heard that word? Kin, and it means family, somebody you're related to. So that's the letter for the week. K. Kitchen, keep, what else? Crispy, like in Rice Krispies. That's the letter I thought of. Okay, so our first story is called Families, and this book is by Shelley Rutner and Sheila Kelly. A K word, Sheila Kelly. And there's lots of people on this page. So let's find out about families. Look at all those people. This book is fantastic because it has some great real people in pictures. There are all kinds of families. Some families are big and have cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and even great-grandparents. Some are small. Maybe it's just a mom and a baby, or a mom and a dad and a kid, or just a dad and a kid. Sometimes the people in your family look alike. Most people look alike. Maybe they're the same hair color or face color. And sometimes they don't. Some families have children born to them, and some adopt. Some children have one parent, some have two, a mom and a dad, or two moms or two dads. Others have a grandparent, an aunt, or an uncle living with them. The people in a family may not all live in the same place. Do you have members of your family that don't live together with you? Maybe you have an older brother or sister who's off at school, or you have aunts and uncles that live in another town. When members of a family live far away, they like to visit. They get together at celebrations and reunions, Christmas, when everybody's healthy. Families have fun. They're playing music, playing games. They're going to a baseball game. They like being together. They help one another. People in a family love and care about each other. There are many different kinds of families. So we have some great songs to sing today. The first one we're going to sing is called A House for Me. And so first we're going to have to put our hands together and make a nest. Oh wait, there, make a nest. I got ahead of myself. Make a nest. Then you make a hive. Then you can make a hole. And then you can make a house. Who lives in a house? Okay, so it goes like this. This is a nest for Mr. Bluebird. This is a hive for Mrs. Bee. This is a hole for a bunny rabbit. And this is a house for me. You make your house over your head? Okay, let's do that again. This is a nest for Mr. Bluebird. This is a hive for Mrs. Bee. This is a hole for the bunny rabbit. This is a house for me. Very good. Alrighty. So our next story, this one's called The Chicken of the Family, and it is so cute. But I think she has a little bit of ornery sisters in her family, and they kind of play a little, well, I'm not going to tell you. Let's just listen to it and you'll find out. So this is written by Mary Amato. It's called The Chicken of the Family. Henrietta had two older sisters who loved to tease her. She hated it when they laughed at her and made fun of her games. There she is. She's the little sister. One night, Henrietta was lying in bed, trying to decide what to dream about when, boo! Her sisters popped up beside her. Henrietta screamed. We have a secret to tell you, said Kim, her big sister. You're a chicken. Ha ha, said Henrietta. No, it's true, said Kim sadly. You really are a chicken. Mom got you from Barney's farm, didn't she, Claire? Claire nodded. But I don't even look like a chicken, Henrietta argued. You do too, Kim said. Your legs are yellow and your toes are long. Henrietta's legs were kind of yellow and her toes, they were kind of long. Did you hear one of her sister's names? Kim. Kim. What about feathers, she asked. I don't have any feathers. Yes, you do, said Kim. You grow feathers every night, and we have to pluck them out before you wake up. That's our job. It's why we get more allowance than you do. Right, Claire? Claire nodded. Henrietta put her pillow over her head. I don't believe you. Kim sighed. What do you eat every morning for breakfast, Henrietta? Cereal. Ah, Kim pulled away the pillow. That's what chickens eat. And what do we eat every morning? Eggs. Where do you think you get the eggs? From the grocery store. Wrong, Kim said. We get them from you. You do not. Henrietta pulled her sheet over her head. Sweet dreams, Henrietta, Kim said. Sorry, said Claire. Poor Henrietta tried to sleep, but she couldn't stop worrying. What if they were telling the truth? She closed her eyes and chanted, I am not a chicken. I am not a chicken. I am not a chicken. The chant helped her fall asleep. When she woke up, she jumped out of bed and looked in the mirror. She wasn't a chicken. She was a girl, a perfectly normal girl. But there, in her bed, was an egg. And on the floor, by her bed, were two brown feathers. Her sisters were right. She really was a chicken. She crept down the stairs and peeked in the kitchen. Her family was gathered around the breakfast table. Kim was singing her I Love Bacon song, and Claire and her parents were laughing and joining in. They sounded so human. Henrietta couldn't face them. She had to find her real family, so she slipped out of the front door and walked down the road to Barney's farm. She passed the barn and headed to the meadow where there were a wooden hen house. A dozen chickens were out, strutting in the long grass. Oops, can't get that turn. It's me, Henrietta said. I'm home. A small brown chicken hopped from foot to foot and clucked. Maybe she's my little sister, Henrietta thought. It'd be nice to have a little sister for a change. Henrietta hopped and replied, Bark, 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 bark. Another chicken flapped her wings. Henrietta flapped back. The chicken strutted around, and Henrietta followed. When the fattest hen ran over to a patch of dirt and flapped dirt all over herself, Henrietta did the same thing. After a while, the little brown hen started a game of tag. Henrietta was it. When Kim and Claire came on their bikes, their faces were red from huffing and puffing. Look at their faces. We've been looking for you everywhere. You gotta come home, Kim said, or we're in big trouble. Mom and Dad are mad at us because you ran away. Claire squealed and told them how we teased you about being a chicken. Henrietta hopped from foot to foot. But I am a chicken. No, you aren't, Claire said. We made that up. What about the egg in my bed and the feathers? Don't be silly, Kim rolled her eyes. We put those there to fool you. Henrietta looked at the creatures calling themselves her sisters. I don't believe you, she said. What a dumbhead, Kim yelled. You're not a chicken. Henrietta turned to the brown hen. You would never call me a dumbhead, would you? The hen stretched her neck and clucked. Henrietta sat down next to her in the warm grass. I like being a chicken. These chickens are nicer to me than you guys are. But you're not a chicken, Kim screamed. This is a peaceful meadow, Henrietta said softly. Please use your peaceful voice. Bok, 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 the white hen added. Farmer Barney wandered up from his barn. Hey girls, what's all the squawking about? Henrietta thinks she's a chicken, Claire exclaimed. Barney tipped his hat. Chickens are the greatest. I wouldn't mind being a chicken myself. Kim just glared at him. He isn't helping matters, is he? Can I stay here with the other chickens, Henry asked Barney. Always got room for another free ranger, he said, and he headed back to his barn. Kim hissed, You want to get us in trouble? Henrietta shrugged. I'm just a chicken. What do I know about trouble? Kim turned her bike around. Come on, Claire, let's go. Claire bit her nails. Mom's going to be mad at us. I don't want to go home. Kim rolled her eyes. You're such a chicken, Claire. Claire looked at Henrietta sitting in the grass. The sky was blue, the sun was warm, and the meadow smelled like hot apple pie. Maybe I am a chicken, Claire said. Can I be a chicken with you, Henrietta? Always got room for another free ranger, said Henrietta. Claire parked her bike and sat with Henrietta and the other chickens. I don't believe this, Kim said, and then she rode away in a huff. So what do we do now? Claire asked. Henrietta grinned. Let's play follow the leader. Of course, Henrietta was the leader. She strutted and squawked and flapped her wings in a glorious, uproarious chicken dance, and everybody in the meadow joined in. Oh, it was wonderful to be a chicken after all. Do you guys have older brothers and sisters that tease you? Or maybe you tease your little brothers and sisters? It's kind of fun, but not always very nice, right? To tease your siblings. But that's what we have them for, right? To have a little fun. Or maybe you, if you don't have a sibling, maybe you tease your cousins or even your parents, your grandparents. So let's do the house for me, and then we have another song, okay? So I'm going to put the words up. There they are. You ready? This is a nest for a bluebird. This is a hive for a bee. This is a hole for a bunny rabbit. And this is a house for me. Very good. All right, so the next one, now this one we're going to name members of the family, and you clap your hands if you have them. If you don't have them, remember, that's okay. All families are different. So if you don't have one of those, we're going to stomp our feet instead of clapping our hands, okay? And remember, it's all good. Whichever you do or do not have, we all have different families. Because Miss Allen's going to stomp her feet on a couple of them, okay? Are you ready? So first we're going to go, if you have a brother, a brother, a brother. If you have a brother, then clap your hands. Good job. Alrighty, so here we go. Sister, are you ready? If you have a sister, a sister, a sister. If you have a sister, then clap your hands. Good job. Alrighty, now we're going to do mommy. Are you ready? If you have a mommy, a mommy, a mommy. If you have a mommy, then clap your hands. Good job. Alrighty, next one's daddy. If you have a daddy, a daddy, a daddy. If you have a daddy, then clap your hands. Remember, stomping if we don't have it, and that's okay. Alrighty, now we're going to do dog. Are you ready? If you have a dog, a dog, a dog. If you have a dog, then clap your hands. Alrighty, next is cat. If you have a cat, a cat, a cat. If you have a cat, then clap your hands. Alrighty, next one we're going to do grandpa. If you have a grandpa, a grandpa, a grandpa. If you have a grandpa, then clap your hands. Alrighty, last one. If you have a grandma, a grandma, a grandma. If you have a grandma, then clap your hands. Alrighty, so we've either clapped or we stomped our feet and it was okay, right? It didn't matter. We clapped our hands or we stomped our feet. We have different people in our family. And that's what this next story is about. It's called Families, Families, Families by Suzanne Lang and Max Lang. I wonder if they're family. Should we see? I get the last page where it tells us about the author. Yes, they are family. They are mom and dad, and they have a daughter and a cat, it says. So, this one I love, for the pictures are so cute, and it's kind of got some funny things in it. It's a cute book. Here we go. Look at that. Some children have lots of siblings. Is there lots of brothers and sisters? Some children have none. Maybe you're all by yourself. Some children have 2 dads, and some have 1 mom. Some children live with their grandparents, and some live with an aunt. Some children have many pets, and some just have a plant. Some children live with their father. Excuse me. Some children have 2 mothers. Some children are adopted. Some have stepsisters and brothers. Some children bunk with their cousins. Some have a mom and a pop. Some children's parents are married. Some children's parents are not. So no matter if you have a ma, a pa, a hog, this llama, 10 frogs and a slug, a cousin named Doug, a great-grandma Betty and a great-aunt Sue, Uncles Hal, Al, and Sal, and Uncle Lou, too, 1 step-sis, 3 step-bros, 2 step-moms, and a prize-winning rose, a robot butler to serve you tea, the world's biggest grandpa, or whatever it might be. If you love each other, then you are family. Right? So it doesn't matter who is in your family, just like our clapping and stomping song. Doesn't matter who's in the family, right? As long as you love each other, that's all that counts. Alrighty, so we're going to put the words up to if you have a. Remember, clap your hands if you have it, stomp your feet if you don't. Doesn't mean any difference. Everybody's family is going to be different. Some of us are going to have all of those. Some of us might only have 1 or 2. Are you ready? Here are the words. If you have a brother, a brother, a brother. If you have a brother, then clap your hands. If you have a sister, a sister, a sister. If you have a sister, then clap your hands. If you have a mommy, a mommy, a mommy. If you have a mommy, then clap your hands. If you have a daddy, a daddy, a daddy. If you have a daddy, then clap your hands. Oh, I see we didn't do cousin last time. Let's do cousin this time. If you have a cousin, a cousin, a cousin. If you have a cousin, then clap your hands. If you have a dog, a dog, a dog. If you have a dog, then clap your hands. If you have a cat, a cat, a cat. If you have a cat, then clap your hands. If you have a grandpa, a grandpa, a grandpa. If you have a grandpa, then clap your hands. If you have a grandma, a grandma, a grandma. If you have a grandma, then clap your hands. Alrighty, so last story. This one's called The Bear in the Family. Do you have a bear in your family? You're going to tell me no, and then we're going to read the story, and I bet you're going to think, maybe I do have a bear in my family. So this is by Maya Tatsakawa. Alrighty, so let's hear about the bear in my family. I live with a bear. The bear sleeps there. This is what the bear looks like. Scary, right? It's big ears, mean eyes, sharp teeth, strong arms, and short but quick legs. Roar! Because my bear is really loud, really bossy, and always hungry. So messy. Well, it's your turn to clean. Hey, that's mine. Too slow. Oh, and the bear is strong. Ow, stop! Maybe too strong. For some reason, my parents think the bear is family. I try to tell my mom the truth. We live with the bear. Don't be silly. Why don't you go to the park? But she tells me to go and play outside. I wonder why my parents don't see what I see. That's our swing. Get off. Uh-oh. I could use a bear right now. Roar! I guess a loud bear isn't so bad. Or a strong bear either. Even a hungry bear can come in handy. You see sliding over the food he doesn't like? And a fast bear makes me fast too. Best of all is a bear that looks out for me and who doesn't love bear hugs. I told you I'm not a bear. Yes, you are. Did he say that his... And so am I. Because what's better than one bear? Two. Did he say his big sister was a bear? Do any of you have older sisters and brothers? Maybe they're mean sometimes. Are they a bear sometimes and growl at you sometimes? Yeah, do you have a bear in your family? Pretty cute, isn't it? Well, no flannel board this week, but we will start back up with one next week. I believe next week's stories are on snow. And so I have a fun little ice snowflake flannel board to do next week. Miss Molly has a great craft after we are finished, and I want to thank you for joining me. Make sure that you pick up the crafts that go with our story times from our curbside. And check out our website. Our December virtual tower is up, so you can play games. There's, all kinds of games that go around the themes that we've been doing this week. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a safe week. And until next time, on my face I have a nose. On my feet I have 10 toes. I have 2 eyes that I can blink. And here's my head so I can think. I have a chin and very near. I have 2 ears so I can hear. I have 2 arms I reach up high. And with my hands I wave. Goodbye. See you next time, guys.
Hi, welcome to Adventures in Storytime. This week's theme is family, so we're making these cute little, they're handprints and they are tied together, so it's like you're sending someone a hug or giving someone a hug without giving them an actual hug. So they're pretty cute, and you can totally send it to like a family member who lives far away, or maybe give it to a grandparent or a friend that you don't see as much anymore. So that was sort of the idea for the hug. They're pretty easy, a few more steps than normal, but you can do it. You will need 2 pieces of scrapbook paper, some glue, scissors, a pencil or something to write with. I don't recommend marker because we're tracing our hands, and so your hands will be whatever color marker you used for a while. And then you'll need like a piece of string. So I will show you the first steps. We'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is trace one of my hands, and it doesn't really matter which one. I'm just going around with my pencil and tracing my hands the best I can. And if you need a grown-up or someone to help you trace your hand, that's cool too. Okay, so I've traced my hand. You can't really tell, but I promise I did. You watched me do it. So the next thing I'll do is just cut it out. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Okay, so I've cut out my hand. The next thing I'm going to do is trace this hand on the other piece of scrapbook paper. And some of the paper is like a print or a pattern on one side and then blank on the other. This side is just solid color on both sides. But if you had one of the other ones with a pattern, you would flip it over so it's on the blank side and then trace your hand. Because when you put the hands together, like for example on this one, it's kind of coming apart so you can tell that it was blank. So if I didn't do it backwards, like I didn't flip it around, then it would be like one side would be yellow and then the other side would be white. So this is why we have to kind of do it backwards. Okay, so I traced this one and I'm going to cut this out also. And when I traced, my pencil didn't really pick up or write for most of my thumb. So I kind of just used my imagination to figure out what my thumb looked like when I was cutting. Okay, so now I have these two hands that go together. We'll just keep them together in a pile for right now and finish. Okay, so I'm going to trace another hand. You can use a different hand, but I am right-handed, so it's easiest for me to write with this hand and then trace with this hand. But if you have someone to help you, or if you are ambidextrous, which means you use both hands, might have a super easy time tracing your other hand. I really like this color green. It reminds me of a pine tree. Okay, so we've cut it out, or I mean I traced it. I'm going to cut it out now. And when I cut it out, I don't generally worry about getting it perfect. I don't mind if the pencil marks are still there, that's okay. Okay. And now I've cut it out, so now I'm going to trace. And remember, if you have one of the scrapbook papers that is a pattern on one side and blank on the other, you will want to flip it over so the pattern is on the outside. Okay, so now I have 4 hands. So the next thing we're going to do is glue and then use our ribbon to connect our hands. And there's 2 ways we can do this, and which way we choose will determine when we use glue. So if I have a hole punch at home and I want to just use my hole punch, what I would do is glue first and then punch a hole and then tie the ribbon through the hole. I did it that way on these. So I glued first, and then when the glue was dry, I punched a hole, then tied the ribbon. On this one, I put the ribbon on one of the hands, and then I glued both sides, stuck them together kind of like a sandwich. And I didn't have to use a hole punch because the ribbon is like tucked away inside here. So I think I will show you how to do this way, but hole punch is super easy, so if you want to do that, you can. So I'll get my glue ready. I'm going to put my ribbon pretty far up my hand, so when it's glued, it doesn't slip out. So I'll glue first. I'm using a glue stick, but you can use any kind of glue that would work. I think I saw this craft on Pinterest, and the people who did it were using felt. So if you have felt at home, like just extra felt laying around, you can cut out your hands in the felt and then do the ribbon thing. So I might have to go over my fingertips again, but that's what it looks like when I've got it glued a little bit. Okay, and so on this, I'm going to do the opposite. You don't have to, you can do it however you want. But I'm going to put the red one down, and so the green one's on top, and so it's sort of opposites. All right, so there's my hug. I can give it to a parent or a loved one. I can send it in the mail to someone who lives far away, or someone that you don't get to see very much, or you can keep it for yourself. So, as always, if you have pictures that you want to show us, we'd be happy to see them. You can send them to kidsdesk@billingsnt.gov. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.